Hello everyone and welcome back to the fourth round of our 1998 career mode here in the Netherlands. And well, this round has been absolutely ridiculous and it has been the most exciting round we've had yet. And also, before we get into it, and we're going to get straight into it, be sure to subscribe, click like, comment what you think of this series as well. But without further ado, we're just going to jump straight into the action.
Hope you're sitting comfortably, mate. We've got a sensor issue, and we're going to be stuck here for a while as we fix it.
And well, our reliability, well, it's not going to be the first time this weekend that it's going to play us up, and you'll see later on why. But anyway, let's jump straight into qualifying for our first few runs. And as we just try and get used to this track, I actually think this modern version of Zandvoort actually suits these old cars quite well. And it was a pretty nice challenge going around here. But our first lap is a 17.8. Not too bad, but of course we want to go for a improvement on our second lap as we just begin that now going into turn one. Very, very difficult braking zone to get right. You have to stamp on those brakes. And then of course these final few corners, the iconic new banking that was only brought in just a few years ago. And it's a massive improvement from the old final corner. It's been improved by 0.8 to set a 17.0. And that is a pretty good time, but as you're going to find out, we were going to go for a third and final run, but as you can hear, our gearbox was playing up. And earlier on in the lap, we had so many issues. As you can hear, our AI just struggled with it. And it's left us in 18th place. We've got a lot of work to do. Hello everyone and welcome back to round 4 of the 1998 Formula 1 World Championship, brought to you by myself once again, Aaron Smith. And well, after qualifying yesterday, it's going to be a hard cut to predict anything but chaos in these next few 36 laps. As well, qualifying was absolutely chaos from start to finish. 4.2 kilometers, 2.6 miles, and only 14 corners. A rather short track, one of the shortest on the calendar. A lot of elevation on this track. Also one of the biggest on the calendar. That second sector is massive for it. And very, very famous. Of course, we've got the banking around the final corner, which is new. But let's talk about qualifying, shall we? And also the championship implications that it might have. Eddie Irvine with a 10-place grid penalty going to be starting further back, whilst his teammate, who is probably his closest rival, right at the top of the pecking order, and Johnny Herbert also having some troubles during qualifying. But let's find out our grid order. Well, after all was said and done, it was the jet black arrows of Mika Salo on pole, with Michael Schumacher lining up in second place. And then the McLarens occupy the second row of the grid. Fisichella in 5th, Nakano 6th, Janet 7th, Alesi in 8th, Rosset in 9th, Verstappen 10th, Barrichello 11th, Eddie Irvine 12th, Schumacher 13th, Franson in 14th, Villeneuve in 15th, Aaron Smith in 16th, Damon Hill in 17th, Herbert in 18th, De La Rosa in 19th, and Magnussen last.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Well, Jeff, we're going to do our best. We have it all to do, as it sort of seems like that's all we're going to do this season, start from the back. But we aren't starting as low as we usually are, and it's lights out and away we go here in Zandvoort. And the Arrows up front gets a pretty decent start. But ourselves all the way down the pecking order, we jump a few cars ahead of us, now fighting the Williams again, overtaking both of them off the line, and Villeneuve trying to come back up the outside of us, now the inside for turn 3. Round the banking we go, and there's a yellow flag behind. We're just going to have to move on for now, as we're on the back of Eddie Irvine, and he brake checks us and gives us front wing damage. And, well, that's just a shame from the AI, and we get an illegal overtake on Villeneuve. But this is what's caused this safety car, and that's Damon Hill, who, yeah, just gets it completely the wrong way coming out of turn 2. And weird to see a mistake from him like that, especially this season. The Jordans have had terrible luck. But we're going to have to come in for a pit stop, obviously, to amend our front wing as well. We can't drive around this track with a broken front wing. It would massively hinder us, and just waiting for our pit crew to get the job done. 8.2 seconds stop, not too bad, but it then does leave us with even more to do than we had before, as we are now in last. Like, we were near last before, now we are last. So, yeah, trust me when I say this race was not too fun. But that's car smoking, and that's Eddie Irvine. That is huge for the championship. And, well, Schumacher now basically has to win this race if he wants to get back into this championship, as that has given him a massive opportunity. Eddie Irvine won't be scoring anything. And, well, we're going to find out over the next 33 laps if he can do it, as we're just waiting for the safety car to get going again. And, well, already you can hear we're having gearbox issues once again, and it's going to plague us for the whole race, I can tell you that. But into turn 1, we're going to eye up a move on De La Rosa. We seem to have got it done already, but he's going to fight us again on the exit, and actually does get a better exit than us. And we make contact with him and just about manage to squeeze past, but yeah, a little bit of a feisty overtake, I will say so. But yeah, we're just struggling so much with this gearbox. We got it back eventually a lap later, but yeah, this is the thing I noticed with the AI. Around that final corner, they have absolutely no speed. I think they let off or brake. But we were eyeing up and move into turn 1, but getting really, really close with the Williams of Frentzen. And we're still side by side with him. We're going to go into turn 2, banging wheels. Still side by side into turn 3, round this banking as well. Up the hill we go, and we just managed to snip ahead, and we've got Verstappen in front of us now. And this race not proving to be easy at all, but into turn 7 we go now, and there's contact! There is contact between us, and that's going to bring out another VSC. We're going to take a look on his onboard. A bit of a send from me, but obviously I'm not going to think it's my fault, but let me know in the comments what you think. And that's Magnussen going really slow around the banking. And I think we've taken some slight front wing damage as well. And we're going to do what we did in Bahrain, get a triple overtake round, not round the outside, down the inside on that main straight. And we are up into the top 10 now, as we've got Salo and Barrichello in front of us. Salo getting all out of shape into turn 10. We've just managed to get ahead of Barrichello now. And now we're trying to eye up and move into turn 11. It's going to be a late dive, but we just about managed to keep it on the track. That was a fair move. And we have some speedy pace, as on the next lap we've got the two Minardis in front of us now, Nakano and Jeunet. And we're going to take advantage of them being super slow on the banking. I don't know why they do that. They don't need to let off around that banking. But yeah, we just get ahead of both of them. Oh, we're really deep into turn 1, and it allows Jeunet to come back up the inside. But we're going to pull away now, surely, into turn 3, and he sends it up the inside! I'm speechless. That was incredibly questionable by the Minardi, and there was never a gap there. I don't know what on earth he was thinking. And that's caused another safety car. He's taken out his teammate as well. And, well, we're going to come in for another stop as well. Was front wing damage that we got from Magnussen, I believe, is hindering our performance somewhat. And, of course, because F1 2020 is an amazing game, our pit crew, for some reason, is completely unprepared for the stop. Even after Fisichella is long gone. And it's going to make our pit stop extra long for basically no reason. It doesn't really affect us too much. We would have come out in 13th anyway, but it's you know, it's still a bit strange. But I mean, we all know how questionable Codemasters Formula 1 games are nowadays, especially F1 22. But we're going to move on from the errors of the modern Formula 1 games and focus on the safety car restart, as we're just aching to get going. And I thought the safety car restart had already gone, and I overtake Rosset before I actually should, and we're just clinging to the back of that Tyrrell. And we get ahead into turn 1, but he's still there on our outside, and it... Oh dear, that was very, very awkward. It was like we sort of gravitated towards him. I don't really know what happened there, to be honest, but we're going to move on, I guess, and now we're on the attack. One of the Saubers again, it's Johnny Herbert. The Saubers really are our main rivals, but these guys up ahead are getting all too close for comfort. Magnussen, Frentzen and Hakkinen all having their own little battle as we're just waiting for an opportunity, going wide into turn 3 on purpose so we can try and get a good exit and overtake Magnussen. We're going to sneak up the inside going into turn 5. It's going to get super close. And we just about managed to keep it on the track. It's getting way too close for comfort, but we're not going to give up this easily, though. Into turn 8, but we just can't find a gap, and we have to sit behind for now. But we do have some incredible paces. There's a yellow flag behind, but I don't think it's caused anyone too much harm, and Magnussen gets a terrible exit off the banking again. We're going to take advantage of that. Into turn 1 we go. Can we outbrake him? Yes, we can, but a little bit too much. He's going to come back up our inside, and he's going to have the advantage into this next corner, but we just outbrake him, and hopefully he won't send it like Genet did into turn 3. No, he doesn't, and he just sits behind us. And we're up into 7th place as Frentzen then going slow around that banking. I do feel bad overtaking them, but yeah, I don't really know what else I'm supposed to do. There is Schumacher then for 5th place. This could be, can we get it done around the outside? This would be incredible if we can. And on the exit of the corner we go. We end up ahead, and we've got our teammate in front of us now in 4th place. It's a really muddled up grid order, and there's a yellow flag in sector 2. And there's a car stopped, and that is one of the Saubers. I think this is a Lacey, I believe, but yeah, just gets it way too twitchy on the exit of 7 and ends up in the wall. And it was only a VSC that came out, but we get underway once again, and Fizzy trying to go for the move on the Stewart of Barrichello. The Stewarts have shown decent pace this race, especially Barrichello. And Fizzy gets up into the podium places, and as you can hear there, we have more gearbox issues, which caught me out a little bit. I think we've lost 4th gear again. No, we do have 4th gear. We've lost 5th gear, which is really going to hinder us, but we're going to overtake Barrichello. That was a very daring move. He's still up our inside, and we just shut the door on him. But yeah, even more gearbox issues plaguing our race, slowing us down. And it's not going to help our straight line speed at all. As well, now all of the AI doing a pretty odd strategy, if you ask me. Everyone coming into the pit lane, and we stay out, trying to go to the end on these tyres, which would be a bit of a risk. But there's another yellow flag in sector 3, and it's a safety car again. I think that's the 3rd safety car we've had this race. This is what happened. This is Magnussen, and just, wow, just runs into the back of him. Albeit that Tyrrell did just reverse into him, but maybe Magnussen could have been a bit more careful. But we come into the pits for another stop, as it was risky going to the end on those sets of hards, and well, we decide to go for a fresh set of mediums, and we're just going to come out behind Villeneuve. And we're just waiting for, hopefully, the final safety car to get underway. And we have a pretty decent chance to get a podium here, as we're in 5th on fresh mediums. The cars in front of us also have fresh tyres, as we're eagerly waiting the cars to get going again. We're alongside Villeneuve. We have similar-ish straight line speed. We're going to go for it into turn 1 for 4th place. Can we shut the door on him? Not quite. He is still there. We're going to have to leave him room. Our driver puts his hand up to say, what are you doing? He's no longer there. Into turn 3 we go. He did what Genet did. And I think there's been a huge pile up behind. And yes, oh my lord. Oh, and you just see the drivers ticking down. And I do not know what Villeneuve was thinking there. That, again, there wasn't a gap. And everyone nowhere to go. And that's a huge, huge pile up involving, I think, about 7 cars. Here's the TV footage, and yeah, just sends it into turn 3 with, well, no requirement to space whatsoever, and we don't leave him any, and wow, only 7 cars left in this race now. Which puts us in 4th place, and as you're going to hear now, more gearbox issues plaguing our race, but this is the worst one. We're not missing gears this time, it's delayed shifts, which slows you down so much, like seconds a lap, and we were keeping up with the 2 McLarens in front of us, and Schumacher's the one leading the race at the moment. And yeah, this has rather ruined our chances of getting onto the podium. We were keeping up with Hakkinen and possibly catching him a little bit. And as you can hear Jeff say, we've got a completely knackered gearbox. It's so difficult to control when it just randomly upshifts and downshifts on you. And we're just going to have to tootle around till the end of the race. Michael Schumacher then is your race winner. He takes full advantage of Eddie Irvine's retirement. And we come home in 4th place. The only Benetton to finish this race then. Matching our best result of the season, I believe. It's some good points for us. But, oh, what could have been. Oh, what could have been. But we'll take it.
A difficult race then on a circuit that demands complete concentration. But they've persevered to take the win here today. Talk to me. What do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today, and a stunning win for Ferrari.
And, well, after a crazy and chaotic race, I don't even know what to say. I really don't. That's, just wow. Just wow. And I think the rest of you have to agree with me. That was ridiculous. About 3 safety cars, a huge pile-up, 7 finishes. And, well, I'm out of breath. I'm going to go to bed. That's going to do it from me, Aaron Smith, Mr. AJMS, whatever you want to call me. And I will see you next time.